as a b-boy, how do I build a brand and position myself to be a part of the Olympics or anything after that?
Got you. Being a part of the Olympics, people have to understand that doesn't mean you're going to make a living. Let's say boxers, wrestlers, taekwondo, karate, all these particular fight sports that are in the Olympics, they win their gold, their silver, their whatever medal, and literally it doesn't mean shit. You won the Olympics. However, the UFC started, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So now these great fighting athletes could test their real skill against real fighters in the UFC. Dana White has created, a stomping ground for these athletes that could do nothing with their medals and now make a living, making millions of dollars a year. This is what I've tried to do for years with the UBC. The B-boys, once they win their medal, they can do nothing with it. Do you understand? There's nothing you could really do with it. They need to have a place to go, just like the UFC. All these little events to pre-qualify to go to this, to this, to this, to this, it does nothing but promote the promoters to put money in their pockets, and the B-boys get nothing. Look at Battle of the Year. 10 B-boys, they split 3,000 euros. What the fuck are they going to do with that? Go to the movies? You have an energy drink company that does an event every year, and everyone goes to it. They pump millions of dollars into it. But it doesn't really mean that those B-boys are the best.
So what needs to happen in order to take that to that next level?
So let's take the Blueprints. They've been doing it for years and years and years and pumped millions of dollars, the Fertitta brothers, into it. And they literally were losing. It wasn't really working. Now here's the next step of the blueprint where the UFC is now solidified. They took 20 fighters from around the world. They put them in the home. They had cameras everywhere. They had a storyline. And they fought. And you let everything unravel. It's the same thing with the B-boys. If that happens and you splice it up, you make it exciting, a network will buy it. They'll put it on the air. That's it. Immediately, B-boys are going to be recognized as marketable.
So what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, we need to create some type of value besides the breaking aspect of it. We need to create some type of background story with these dancers and create more personalities in the dance.
Right. Let me give you an example. I'm going to bring this up. It's really interesting. B-boy Li Lu.
Right.
He is the biggest biter on the planet. The guy should be completely ashamed of himself. Ripped off the king of B-boys who has elevated B-boy to what it is today with his new style, B-boy Benji. I mean, this guy's a biter. This is the creator. He's Muslim. The other guy is Jewish. Having those two and putting out their stories of what's going on and for them to face off, now that shit's exciting.
Okay.
It could be someone from Wisconsin like Mary Jo. Look at this. These two guys are going to have a dance battle. But when they see the story of the feud that these two have between them, it becomes really exciting. And when they exchange their moves, it's even more exciting. And if you throw another B-boy from a little rice field from Korea in it, that's incredible, like a pocket, then we're lifting the level up. What they're trying to do now, whether it's the Olympics or all the other events that are going on, they're trying to structure it. Everything has to be structured, and we have to have this many points for this and for that. That's not the way it works for this dance. And to voice over, to commentate over two B-boys dancing with a beat, you got to have either an exciting announcer, or if you have some boring announcer, so you should have seen Hung Ten do this. He was really amazing. You fuck up the whole integrity of the dance, and the viewer doesn't get to feel what they're doing. I mean, if it's not exciting, I met with the Olympic Committee. They flew me out to Switzerland. They were wonderful, very respectful, and I explained to them. I said, you have two choices. Myself and the creators, we're always going to be for this because we think it's a great thing. So everyone is either going to watch the TV and go, oh, look at that. There's these breakdancers spinning on their head. Or you could use the creators and the photographers who documented us and the guy that created scratching. Everybody a part of my event, whether they lifted an ashtray or they carried records, had a significant historical backstory to what they've done in this culture. That's exciting to look at Martha Cooper, Joe Gonzo, Henry Chalfant. These are not people with gold fronts in their pants hanging and talking like this. This is like Manhattanites, who went down in the dirt and was Henry Chalfant and Martha Cooper taking photos of the graffiti artists in the 70s going on rooftops, and that's exciting. To interview a promoter that had an event because he's been doing it for 10 years, that's not exciting.
Right. something about breaking, and I'm from a different generation. I came after you. I started breaking in the mid '90s. To me, there was still an element of surprise because in order for me to see a dancer, I had to go to a party and I had to randomly see somebody break.
Okay.
Now it's like, oh, on the 24th, I'm gonna go and I know I'm gonna battle and do 8 rounds. Do you feel like kids or this structure of knowing that you're gonna battle takes away from the magic of breaking?
No, it's just a different time, and that's how we do it now. They're excited about going to the jam. The promoter is strictly excited about getting his money, which is fine. And they do what they do. But again, at those jams, there's still the pre-qualifications. They have to drag it out and make it a show. It's really not a battle. It's a show what they do. But I understand why they do what they want. They want to try to give it a little structure. And that's how these particular events that have been going on for 25 years have approached the Olympics, or whoever is the person that carries the certificate to be able to put breaking in the Olympics, who would be in charge. This is what we do. It's structured. It's exactly what you guys do. And our judging way is this way. It's fucking crazy. To me, the judging system, you have 5 elements that you'll judge. You pick 5 people from the event to sit down and judge. You have 3 OGs watching via the internet, watching that. And then you have the rest of the world and the people at the battle who will go ahead and cast their vote on who they want. It doesn't matter if one guy has 50 people there. It can't be fixed between the 5 judges, the 3 OGs, and everyone else judging. It will be a legitimate judging.
So do you feel like there might be some fixing going on behind the scenes?
Fixing. There's so much. You got a fucking DJ who's judging a breaking competition with that dickhead renegade from London. It's no secret. I don't like him. I don't like him because he actually thinks that he has the right to judge. He's a DJ. There's an unwritten rule. If you're not a black belt in the art of b-boying, don't sit in that seat. Now, he doesn't like what I say, and he wants to sit down and talk with me. Maybe we should talk. I'm like, yeah, where is he? Yeah, fuck face. Let's meet and talk. I'm still waiting for you. Why is he judging? When we have promoters, Thomas from Battle of the Year, you had even Cross One, you had from IBE, what's his name?
Tyrone.
Why are they judging? These niggas think that they can sit down and judge. When I did the UBC, I announced it, and I had other people judge it. I'm not judging it. I'm not allowed to judge it. It's a conflict of interest. And you can't have a DJ that DJs for an energy drink company, and then that energy drink company sponsors an event that DJ is throwing. There's just too much conflict of interest.
Do you feel like anybody that's competing in these competitions, do you feel like you would have to have the prior relationships in order to keep winning? Or because sometimes I feel like somebody with no name is not, it doesn't win the battle because they don't have a name. Do you feel like you are required to have some type of relationships within the game in order to make it?
Again, I feel that the way the battling is structured doesn't give these b-boys a way to really flare out the way they do. So when I'm going to give you an example. So I was a b-boy, and then I was in a show. Every night I had to do the same show. I lost the feel for it. It's the same thing with them. These poor guys, they're with lights, camera, action. They need to perform. And if they happen to be off that night, they're not going to win. Now, if you throw 3 other b-boys in that cypher, we're now becoming a little more intimate, and there's more of a, all right, I'm going to rest a little, I'm going to catch him. You could feel the energy because b-boys are reactors. They feel what they do. Unless if you guys, like, you have a guy like Storm, he has all his moves choreographed. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying he can be sick on his deathbed. He will always be able to do good in a battle because he's a choreographed b-boy. You get a guy like Ken Swift, myself, I could only get down if I'm in the right circle, the right darkness, the correct record that moves me, then you get some flavor. But for them to just, whether someone's more known or not, it doesn't matter. You're putting them in a situation where they have to perform like a showgirl rather than dig in and fight in a battle.